Hello, all you ghostly goblins out there. I am Andrew,
Je suis Ashton.
And I'm Sean.
and we are the Night Scholars, exploring the mystifying world of cryptids, ghosts, ghouls, and all things supernatural. Today, we'll be talking about everyone's favorite man beast down on the bayou, the Rougarou. How you guys doing today?
Oh,
I'm doing pretty good because on Saturday I'm going skydiving and I'm so excited.
Oh,
nice. Kind of jealous of you, not gonna lie.
make sure you wear a parachute.
Yeah,
That's
what's really sad is that I still have this deep fear of staring in the mirror and being like insane Bloody Mary 3 times, but jumping out of a plane, that doesn't scare me. I
No,
don't know what's wrong with me.
see, I have an
Andrew.
awful fear of heights.
The
No,
parachute isn't necessary. There has been a successful skydive without a parachute.
yeah. How many bones did they break?
None. He jumped into a net.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
He just wanted to see if he could do it live on TV.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, there will be
Was
no net available, so I better use this parachute.
Yeah, now make sure you don't grab the backpack that has like all the spoons and random stuff in it.
That's fair. I have seen that on a lot of cartoons.
Yeah. I think even one
yeah,
time in Tom and Jerry, it was either that or it might have been the what was it, Wile E. Coyote, where it was just an anvil.
could be.
Yeah. And then, but the golden rule is to just not look down because you're perfectly fine. You can defy gravity all you want to, but as soon as you look down, then you're dead.
You should
As soon as you acknowledge that you're defying gravity, that's when you're screwed.
yeah, that's true. You should get a wingsuit.
Andrew, I'm surprised he didn't break out into the defying gravity song right there.
Yeah. I don't
You
think
know,
I don't know
I
what
thought
song you're
about
talking
it.
about.
I was trying to do a segue into the Lougarou, and then you guys just kept talking.
You know, I think I'm more in danger of the Rougarou than you are, Ashton. I'm only like 10 minutes from Louisiana.
Indeed.
I mean, I got bayous. It was all over the place around here, so who knows? Probably be careful when I'm driving at night.
Well, you should probably be careful when you're driving just all times.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we would hate it if you hurt somebody else.
Wow. Oh, such compassion. I knew you cared about me.
Yep, that's a statement.
It
That's my
sure
takeaway
is.
from that sentence, and you can't change my mind. All right.
The next short up on our YouTube channel is just gonna be Sean's really bad edit of me saying words that I don't mean.
That's fair.
Honestly, probably. I could probably piece together our conversations over the years to make it look like you actually are a good friend.
I mean, I'm the one that edits the podcast. I could probably make you guys say whatever I wanted to.
Please don't.
Uh, that sounds like a threat.
I mean, I
I mean,
already
I was
I have to clip stuff out that could be taken out of context.
I was just looking at my notes, so you could really do something with kill them, rip off heads, set on fire, which is how
Yeah.
you kill a Lugaroo, but
Is that how you kill it? Because most of what I found was about breaking the curse of the Rougarou.
well, yeah, I mean, that's how you can break the curse, but if you want to just skip that step because that's a lot of hassle, then you could just kill them by ripping off their head and setting them on fire.
That does work. Setting things on fire does tend to handle many cryptids.
Yeah.
Indeed. But I guess before we start really talking about killing them and breaking curses and everything, we should probably go into what this thing is in general. Andrew, do you want to give a brief description?
The Rougarou is a shapeshifting monster that lives in the swamps of Louisiana. It is akin to a werewolf, but it can transform into its werewolf form or wolf form at any point. So it's, kind of the body of a man, head of a dog or wolf. Uh,
Hmm.
so yeah, pretty similar to a werewolf.
I have heard accounts where it doesn't have to be a dog or a wolf. There are some depictions of it either having a pig's head, alligator, deer, or even a mosquito. which honestly, the mosquito sounds very fitting for, and the alligator sound very fitting for the bayou.
I think an alligator would be
I
scarier.
feel, I don't know. I think if I saw a man with a mosquito head, that'd be pretty freaking terrifying.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'd be more worried about the alligator. It's kind of like what is it? The lizard man of Florida.
I don't know. There's a couple Egyptian gods that look like crocodiles, so
Yeah.
not so different.
Just remember, folks, when you're wrestling crocodiles and, and alligators, they have much more force when opening their jaws. Nope. They have much more force when
The way around,
closing their jaws than opening them. So just wrap your arms
close their
around its mouth.
close their jaws at what, the speed of sound or something?
Yeah, really fast. And they got very sharp teeth.
It's not. You don't want your hand caught in its mouth.
Yeah, don't stick your fingers in the alligator's mouth, guys.
Sean should test that out.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Oh, sure. That's going to be the next TikTok I send you. Is me going to the swamps and wrestling a gator man.
It will
Nope.
also be the last short that you send me, and by you, I mean Sarah.
I mean, Sarah could be the
You think?
next host.
I feel like you like Sarah more than me.
I've never met Sarah.
Can't confirm that Will likes Sarah more than you.
It's not hard. I like Sarah more than me.
Should probably go to
Yay.
therapy about that.
I mean,
Anyways,
all right. So I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find very much about the transformation that was credible. Most of it is just one. Most of the oldest lore I found was once it's transformed, that's its permanent form, unless you break its curse by cutting its nose with a knife.
interesting. See, I haven't seen that version at all. I have seen some where it will permanently stay unless you break the curse, but it's more of a at nighttime they shift into it, and during the
Mhm.
daytime they kind of like just look very like lethargic and just don't like quite look like they're all together.
Same.
And also sometimes where you don't even have to break the curse, it's just the curse is set for exactly 101 days and then they transform back into
Yeah.
just normal.
Yeah, I didn't see anything about that, but why
Uh,
101 days?
that one's more along the Catholic belief in it.
Yeah, do you have more of like a reason for the 101 days? Because I have it. I know that it's connected to Catholicism, but I don't
It
understand the 101 days.
uh, it's just a number. It's just how long it lasts, I guess. I mean, I have the reason they get cursed, but which is
Okay, but you
what?
one of the only reasons I found that it could get cursed is you pissed off God.
It's
Or
Catholics that do not obey the rules of Lent.
Correct.
Also, apparently says it'll stalk and murder them. It doesn't necessarily say they'll be turned into it.
Yeah, I saw a couple of different versions, which I guess for those of you who are listening to this, a lot of the reason why there's so much varying information on the Rougarou is because this has primarily been a oral story that has been passed on. So there's a lot of different variations. A lot of people think that it's kind of like a bastardization of the French Loup-garou and also just a combination of a bunch of other American folklores. But
which would make
anyways,
sense since I found something that says it can't count higher than 12. So if you place 13 objects around your door, it won't be able to get into your door,
Oh yeah, another
which
one
is more
that
along the
gets
line of
distracted by
fairies.
counting. Yeah,
yeah. And I guess I didn't know that. So is that why the Count from Sesame Street just like is so obsessed with it? Like was that like actually a clever joke?
maybe, or it could just be more of a wordplay on that his name is Count.
I mean it
Yeah,
could be, but I didn't know if there was like another
that's
level that I was missing.
Maybe.
But yes, I did see that. And it would be interesting if they were human during the day and then they turned into the Rougarou at nighttime.
Yeah.
And do they lose their ability to count as a human, or is it just when they're a form? Because that suggests two different intelligences, and I'm very fascinated by this.
Mm,
I mean, if you're going,
it probably
no,
depends more on the animalistic part of your brain once you transform. If I had to guess.
oh, this is interesting.
I'm also wondering why 12. Like, is that like insinuating that dogs can count to 12?
That's probably because 13 is considered a bad omen in many Western societies. It's so so it evil versus evil, I guess. It's repelled by an evil number.
Maybe it's just not very good at math.
That too.
Y- Yeah,
And it
that's
is
what I
from
thought.
Louisiana after all.
The fact that it can count to a number past its fingers is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Now, here's an interesting one.
Or wait, I
This
guess if
group,
it's
the
like a wolf. Sorry, Sean. I'm just
no,
like,
you're good.
if it's
You
a
can just
wolf,
edit.
though, it would have technically 12. So it
Would
is
it?
counting on its toes. Wouldn't it?
But I think so. But what about if it's a horse? Because apparently the Métis believes it could be a black mare rather than a wolf.
I think that the counting is just for the wolves because they ran out of fingers and toes.
This is also interesting. I know I said something about cutting its nose open to break the curse, but also if you hit it between the eyes with a skeleton key, it'll be turned back into a man.
Where do you get the
And
skeleton key?
Own an old ass house in the bayous. I wonder if it would work if you threw the DVD of Skeleton Key in between its eyes. Like, how strict are they on the rules?
So I was thinking more of the skeleton key that lets you visit your scary godmother.
Hmm.
If any of you remember those movies.
Nope, not familiar with that one.
Nah.
yeah,
But
I do not.
what if you make a key out of a skeleton? Would that count as a skeleton key?
I think that would
I
count
think,
as desecration of a corpse.
Well, yes.
I think that counts as a
but
felony.
but also, would it work?
Maybe.
Would it work? Depends on how well you made it.
That's true.
That is true. So, what I found for the curse, it was more about transferring blood. So, there's a story about a young boy who comes across a Rougarou out at one of the swamps, and he has nothing but an oyster knife on him. And he just kind of like slashes at him in self defense. And because he shed like the blood of the Rougarou and it passed on to him, so too did the curse.
I did see something
And
about transferring blood, so that makes sense.
yeah, and also if you mention the fact that you ran into a Rougarou, then that will also carry on a curse.
This one says that if you learn the identity of Rougarou, you have to keep it secret or you become a Rougarou. So pretty similar.
Hmm.
Yeah. There's also a thing where if the Rougarou says that he is a Rougarou, then he dies.
Oh, damn.
That makes sense. You can't admit to being cursed without the curse killing you. I've heard that
Indeed.
before.
Yeah.
And then if you don't break the curse, if you don't do any of these methods and figure out which one is actually the right one to end the curse, then it gets passed on to your family members because
Oh.
it's generally
Now,
seen as a family curse.
did you see the thing about it not necessarily killing you but cursing you? Because I saw a couple things that that if you stare into its eyes, you could either become a Rougarou or just have bad luck, like a misfortune for the rest of your life.
You s-
I did see that.
Yeah.
Actually,
I
what
mean,
I
if
saw
you
was that if anyone who was cured of the curse looked somebody in the eyes after they were cured, then it would pass on a curse to them even afterwards.
Hmm. That's interesting.
that's
Okay.
terrifying. All right, so I'm not going to look at anybody's eyes in Louisiana.
Also remember, if you know a Rougarou, don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people on one of my trips to New Orleans that had tails sticking out from their pants.
Sounds like a cool
So,
person.
yeah, so I'm really glad that I didn't ask them any questions like, "Hey, are you a Rougarou?"
Yeah, that's probably the one
Or,
question you shouldn't ask.
"Hey, man, I'm trying to count my change. Can you help me count out 13 pennies?"
Is that like that, you ever seen those TikToks? Like, POV, you suspect your wife is like a largemouth bass, or your coworker's a bunch of ants. You
Yes.
Yeah.
suspect your partner is the Rougarou. Hey, honey, I have a bunch of apples here. Can you count them? I think there's more than 12.
You laugh, but I am so using that on Sarah.
You should.
One of the stories that I heard was of like somebody who got transformed into one and actually like followed all of the instructions on how to break the curse and just had to keep like living their life as a Rougarou for 101 days, and then after it was over, they still couldn't talk about it. It's just like, man, how do you tell your wife that you're just leaving the house at night for 101 days?
It's like, honey, listen, I swear I'm not having an affair, but I can't tell you what's going on. You'll be cursed.
I
Already
don't even
cursed
think
by
she
being
can say
married is
that.
what her answer would be.
Uh,
No, what's funny is
Um,
I'm gonna try this bullshit on Sarah, and then Ashton's gonna text her and be like, "Hey, if Sean asks you about apples, balls, make sure you count out as high as you can."
oh,
hmm,
doesn't she listen to this podcast?
I think she listens to me recording, and then sometimes listens to the episode.
yeah.
So she already knows Sean.
See, what you gotta do is go to the store and be like, hey, honey, I need 13 more cents to pay for this. Can you count me out 13 cents and change?
Or can you pick out
Okay,
exactly 13 apples?
Yeah.
The counter curses are interesting too, like to prevent
what'd you
yourself from
find them?
getting cursed. I found putting a leaf in your wallet and painting a hexagon in the middle of your living room.
Why a hexagon?
I don't know. It just like when I heard that, it just reminded me of my ex-boyfriend who, when they first moved in, when his family first moved into their house, there was like a giant pentagram in the middle of it. And now I'm thinking, was it a pentagram or was it a hexagon to keep out the Rougarous?
And they look pretty different.
They do. So, but any symbol on the floor is going to be a pentagram to some people.
That's true. I mean, if you do see one, first make sure it's not just one of the Wiccan ones. Those are normally fairly harmless. If it's one of the more summoning demons creating a portal to hell type, maybe don't live there. I mean, that's about the best advice I could give you.
What if you just painted over it and drew a hexagon? Would that cancel it out?
Maybe. You should probably put some
Anyway,
cedar ash outside of your house though.
anyways, if you are listening to this and you know the answers to these things, I'm genuinely curious. So if you want to put that down in the comments, I would be so appreciative of you. Because I just want to know why a leaf, why a hexagon, and do hexagons replace pentagrams? Or, the bad kind.
I do have a
But yeah,
question.
yes.
Yeah.
Does it specify what type of leaf, or is it just a leaf?
I just said a leaf.
Okay. Maybe it doesn't need to be specific type.
I have no idea.
So you're gonna try and give the Rougarou poison ivy, aren't you?
No, I was just thinking of using like a maple leaf.
That would be
That
kind of
works.
funny, actually, giving it poison ivy.
What about pine needles? Do those count as leaves?
I
I don't think so.
don't. But you mentioned salt, Andrew. I didn't really see any of that in relation to the Rougarou, but there is a Haitian version called the Lougarou, and they do say that if you feel its presence, then you should throw salt in its direction.
In a lot of cultures and religions and things, I mean, salt is seen as a purifying agent, which even in like cooking it used to be, right? A
Yep.
lot of people use salt or alcohol to cleanse things, especially going from like Christian theology. Like the people, the followers of Yahweh are supposed to be the salt of the earth, right? Supposed to kind of cleanse the bad things from the earth through good works, right? A lot of it comes from that. A lot of it comes from the fact that salt is actually something you can use to purify certain things. A lot of times to do with meat.
Yeah, they don't explicitly say it, but that's essentially another thing that they do with the salt. And the Haitian stories of these with the Lugaloo, the Lougarou leaves its human skin behind when it transforms, and if you can find the skin, then putting salt, hot pepper, yeah, salt and hot pepper on it, then you can basically like cook it and make it so it is no longer able to put this human skin back on.
Hmm. But I feel like it's less dangerous than its human skin, though. Wouldn't you want it to go back to it?
Maybe there's something with them. I didn't really like see anything, but it could be that they can't survive without getting it, like, or they can't hide as easily. Because I think in
Yeah,
their culture, it's a lot like um the skinwalkers, where they really rely on
hiding.
people trusting them.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
It also says that you can poison them, so the poison ivy leaf's not too far off.
yeah, yeah.
Well, there you go then.
Does it mention anything about silver, like with the more traditional European werewolves?
I saw one thing that's saying wearing silver will repel it, not necessarily touching it with silver, but just
Which,
silver. Like it,
yeah, I mean, in a lot of cultures too, that's the same for a lot of things.
salt and silver. It's a good way to get rid of most cryptids.
Yeah, and
And
demons and
cutting off their head and burning it.
yeah. Isn't
Well, there you
that
go then.
isn't that how they beat the leprechaun in one of the leprechaun movies?
Oh, probably the third one,
Yeah,
or it was either the third one or in the hood. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen In the Hood.
yeah.
So I think this was a really fascinating creature. But do we think
Indeed,
it
and it
exists?
has supernatural powers that we haven't gone into and a lot of other stuff. Sean, are you trying to cut this episode short?
No. I no. See, I couldn't find anything about the supernatural powers because, like I said, most of the older mythology just said once it was cursed, it was just a larger than average person and with the speed of a wolf. What kind of supernatural powers did you find? Well, I mean, there's the curses, so
Yeah. Oh no, like it absolutely enjoys killing people and large prey, and it does so by running fast. It can literally paralyze them,
Mm.
and it can shapeshift into other animals and objects to blend into their surroundings. And of course,
that is
Objects.
other objects,
that
like probably like trees.
that
Oh,
seems more like a skinwalker than a Rougarou,
I don't know, but that's really interesting. It's out here playing prompt hunt while hunting.
right?
Yeah, a lot
Now,
of things say that it is similar to both a skinwalker and a wendigo.
That's fair.
now the question, Ashton, is what type of people does it attack? Because I could find some things where it attacks innocent people, but others say it only punishes sinners that come across its path.
I think that its absolute like delight in killing are Catholics because they blame
Hmm.
them for the curse, but
Fair.
I don't think that they really care. If we go to the Haitian roots with the Lugawu, which Haiti's not the only country that also has reports of these, but they specifically target newborns and children.
Yeah,
Huh,
I did see that.
that's fun. Uh, Now one country I did see a reference to, but I couldn't find anything specific to their region. Was apparently there've been sightings in Nova Scotia,
Hmm.
but I couldn't
Interesting.
find any confirmation on that. So I was wondering if you two had anything.
Not on that, but going on what it also like what it's capable of. Apparently, also in some like sightings or interactions with the Rougarou, uh,
Mhm.
apparently they also do the cow mutilation, and there's no
You sure that's
blood
not a chupacabra?
left in the body. I mean, it's similar to it, yeah. Uh, which also
Poor,
UFOs a lot
poor
too have
cows.
a lot of the same thing with the mutilation and then there being no blood in the cow.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know about the one in Louisiana or the type in Louisiana, but the Haitian ones, it's not really like they claim that they suck their blood, but it's more of a like draining all of the energy out of them.
So this thing is kind of like a vampire werewolf chupacabra. It has a lot of abilities and tendencies that a lot of other things have.
Yeah, and I heard something about it being kind of in tune with nature as well, and some comparisons with Bigfoot, but I wasn't really able to find too much information on that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're living in the swamps and the bayous, you should be pretty in tune with nature.
When there's
That's fair.
also the swamp ape. That might be Florida though.
I think that's Florida.
Yeah.
Did you guys see anything about who is most likely to turn into a Rougarou? Because the only thing that I have is, again, back to the Haitian culture where it actually ends up being a lot of old women.
No, I couldn't
Mm,
find anything about who's susceptible, just how you're susceptible.
I mean, I just have anyone looks into its red glowing eyes or is bit.
That's fair. And I don't really know why there's so much tie. I don't know if it's kind of more of a sexist and ageist thing, but they very much do use that the same way as everybody used to with the witch trials, where basically if a older woman is unmarried and kind of is like more unattractive and lonely, doesn't have family, they pretty much immediately assume that she is a Lugaloo.
Mm. I mean, you should just go talk to her. She'll probably make you some cookies and tell you a story.
Right? Like, don't hurt grandma unless
Yeah.
grandma tries to hurt you.
Yeah. I mean, if she, starts turning into like a wolf creature, maybe leave at that point. But
Right? But Granny should have like some salt and hot pepper on in her house so you can just pour it on her body.
So, Ashton, if you cut its head off, burn the body, and salt, do you think that would really get rid of it, or is the salt unnecessary?
Oh, I don't think that these things are real at all. So,
Oh, really?
indeed.
Hmm.
interesting. You know what is real though?
What?
What's that, Andrew?
The roller coaster in Cedar Point, the amusement park in Ohio. It
Oh,
has
yeah,
a roller coaster named the Rougarou.
And here I
I
thought you
have
were going
heard
to
of
make a
it.
shameless plug about our merchandise.
No. Here, I'll even read the whole thing here. The Cedar Point amusement park in Ohio has a ride named after this beast, in which the area of the ride is styled like the Louisiana swamps that the creature has been seen in, complete with a speaker emitting eerie sounds such as wood creaking, frogs croaking, and even a few roars to make it seem like the creature is in the area. Sounds like a really good time. Except it goes upside down, and I don't ride roller coasters that go upside down normally.
Or upside down
I
roller
know.
coasters.
They're so much fun.
Yeah? Yeah, last time I did. So, the thing about me is I'm a large man, yes?
Yeah.
A long torso. Like, most of my height is made up of torso instead of legs, which, is normally the opposite for most people.
Interesting. So, speaking of long torsos, I thought you were going to give a description of something else that is equally miraculous, which is the official Night Scholars podcast t-shirt. The perfect shirt to wear to the Mothman Festival. Rock this adorable design of the Jersey Devil giving his best buddy, the squonk, a donut to cheer him up. Hug a squonk today and stay safe out there.
That is the description that I put in the shop, yeah.
That is fantastic.
And tell them where they could get this fantastic shirt, Ashton.
Oh, so if you go over to the Night Scholars podcast dot myshopify.com, then you will find this awesome shirt. It comes in sizes small to 5XL, and we also have a tank version. And if a t-shirt is not your style, then we have stickers.
We sure do.
Well, there you go then.
It will also be linked in the comments on YouTube for this episode and whatever Andrew does on Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
I just put the link tree in there, and it's a part of the link tree. I
Fair
think.
enough. I don't know. Anyways, I already said that I don't believe in this thing. What about you guys?
Um, I believe in it more than some of the other things we've covered, but I'm not 100% on it, so no.
I mean, In the swamps of Louisiana, it's possible something like this exists. I mean, yeah, why not? We'll say it's real.
Tune in for next time after Sean goes and proves us right or wrong.
Thank you again, our ghosts and goblins, for listening to the Night Skies. You all be good to each other. Don't answer the scratching at your window.
Or do.
But most importantly, stay safe out there.
Good night.